So, Arsenal 2. The Irons 0. The Declan Rice derby ends in defeat for the Hammers. Declan scores again. Ole, ole. That's home and away. I'm a poet. I fully know it. I see the starting 11. I thought, yo, we're shipping these, man, 4-0. That didn't obviously end up like that. In fact, if anything, it ended up with about 4 of our players probably crocked. But West Ham were awful. They had a little moment here and there, but we're just too good defensively for West Ham. We obviously have Mike's title. His link will be in the title. West Ham United fan. And I'll be honest, though, that wasn't a penalty. It was outside the box. So that's made the scoreline look a little bit better, but I can tell by your face, mate, you're not looking too good right now. Talk to me.
I don't care if it's a penalty or not. Anyone who knows me, I don't care about ref decisions. It's a 90-minute game as it is. He shouldn't be pulling him as it is, no matter whether it's outside the box, inside the box. It doesn't matter. Shouldn't be pulling him. And he was in the wrong position anyway. I love Duff, but that was terrible positioning. But in the game in general, it's exactly how I predicted it would be. I predicted 2-0. I predicted Arsenal would score early on and then control the game, and then the scoreline would look worse than it actually is. I mean, the scoreline wouldn't look as what it actually is in the game, because Arsenal look clearly the better team, clearly by far. But I say this all the time: if you're going to sit back, you have to have a plan on the ball. You have to have a plan on the ball. It's like when you have possession, you can't just pass the ball around. You have to actually have shots. And either way, that's why I was complaining about Potter. That's why I'm complaining about this manager. I don't care if he's just joined. I don't care, because I didn't want him. I didn't want him in the first place. I feel like I'm endorsing everything this ownership does if I'm bringing in this manager, because these not only hire managers that you don't have to pay compensation for these guys. They're out of work for a reason. They've been fired for a reason. It's not for no reason, because Nuno's teams can get figured out very easily if you let them have the ball. And when Arsenal were like, we don't care anymore, have the ball, we saw what happened. West Ham didn't know what was going on. West Ham didn't know what to do next, because we're not used to having the ball under this manager. And the whole plan was to sit back. The whole plan was to sit back, and we went 1-0 down, and we're still sitting back. What is the point? Your whole mentality is to go for the draw. I don't care how good Arsenal are. If Potter can beat them, why can't you? Because Potter wasn't good enough to be here. Potter wasn't good enough to be here. We beat you in February, January, whatever it was. We beat you. And that's why I said it's the best time to play Arsenal then, not now. Because Arsenal are better now than then. I said this to you yesterday. Yeah. And it's a genuine disgrace the way we performed today, because the lineup was fine apart from Fulkirk up front, because he was useless. Genuinely useless. And I'm all about giving strikers service. We gave him the ball enough times to see what he's about against these kind of centre-backs. No game plan whatsoever against these centre-backs. It was just try to overhead kick it by keeping the ball at one point in the first half. Overhead kicking it to Calafiori. Why the fuck is he getting the ball from your overhead kick? Why is it going sideways? Why is the ball going towards the throwing? And no matter what style of play you're playing, 4 shots is a disgrace. 4 shots and like 0 on target, whatever it was. There was no shots on target. It was like 4 or 5 shots on goal in the whole game. And like 100 passes in the first half. I don't think Raya made a save.
No, Raya, 0 shots on target.
Raya didn't touch the ball with his hands unless it was a corner. Like, I don't care what team you are, whether you're Chesterfield or not. Like, you can be Chesterfield, you can be Man City. It doesn't matter. Go and test the team that you're playing against. You're not here just to sit and roll over. Literally just like the equivalent of just a prostitute playing football. Just sit there and enter. That is all we are as a club. Sit there and just enter. That's all we are as a club. All we are. We're just sitting there like mugs. Mugs. Just fucking sitting back, but you're not defensively astute. Kilman and Mavropanos had no concentration. You got to read the game properly if you're going to be a centre-back that's going to sit back. You have to read the game ahead of time. Because not like Gyökeres did anything today, but that doesn't matter. He didn't have to. He didn't have to. Because Arsenal were peppering us. Passing the ball around very basically. Just it wasn't the best performance, but I predicted this would happen. You didn't have to perform like very good to actually win against us today. Like taking advantage of what we are, the state we are at this current moment in time. You're just sitting back and expecting what? What are you expecting to do? Because when we got the ball, who's helping? Who's helping who? Someone was trying to take on 3 players at once again. It's exactly like the Everton game. You had the week in training to figure out what you're going to do, how you're going to approach Arsenal. And there's a reason why Nuno doesn't win at the Emirates. It's exactly how Forest played against you lot last season. when he just sat back and they lost like 3-1 or whatever it was, or 3-0, and you
3-0,
peppered them. Yeah,
Mm.
3-0. And they didn't score
I think
again.
Eddie scored a hat trick. Or was that the season before? I can't remember.
That
Maybe
might have
it
been the
was
season
5.
before.
But
Yeah,
no,
like,
you're right though. Like the first half, yeah. Like I don't think we were great at all, by the way,
No.
but we didn't have to be great. Yeah, this is what Arsenal do, especially at this stage of the season. Like you said yesterday, if you had played us in like maybe a February or something, or January, yeah, different story. Yeah, because now it's the final running. Yeah, we're playing this early in the season. We're pretty good at the start of the season, and we've only conceded 3 goals all season. Yeah, so when we're going up against a team that are shot of confidence, yeah, players ain't all that. You've got some good players, yeah, but they've been off form. You've got a new manager just come in, and it was probably a free hit. I hate that term, but it was probably a free hit. You're going up against one of the best teams in the league, the best defense in the league. That's been proven for the last couple of seasons, and again currently now, along with Palace so far this season. And it's like, now you've got Saka on the pitch, you've got Eze on the pitch, you've got Odegaard on the pitch, you've got Gyökeres on the pitch. We're bringing on Martinelli. We had Trossard on the pitch. Yeah, we're bringing on all these players. Ethan, what are you bringing on? Yeah, it was always going to be backs against the wall, but at the same time, yeah, that was piss poor from West Ham today. Yeah, that was a case of let's keep it 0-0 and hope 80 minutes comes, then we can nick a goal or even just nick a draw. Yeah, but as soon as that first goal goes in, there was no intent whatsoever from your team today.
and if you have the mentality of trying to nick a draw, you shouldn't be a manager, especially in the Premier League. You shouldn't be a manager if you're trying to get a draw, no matter what team you are. No matter what team you are, you should be trying to get a draw ever. You go out to win games, not to draw. 1 point over 3. Are you taking the piss? At least try for 3. At least have the intent to go for 3. Because I never have it. There's no such thing as free hits in general for me, but there's no such thing as free hits if you're 19th place. You're 19th. We need wins. We've drawn once, we've won once, and our only win was against our current manager. Potter beat Nuno this season already. So why this the whole propaganda about Nuno will do this, Nuno will do that. Nuno isn't going to do anything with playing like that. Because Nuno has one game plan only, and that's the hope that you get a draw and rely on individual quality. The one thing we needed as a football club is to take the mind off the players for 1 second and help the players via coaching, because all we've been doing is we've been relying on Jared Bowen every single time since Declan Rice has left. Since Declan Rice left, all we've been doing is relying on Jared Bowen to get you a goal. Because Somerville needs help out there. Somerville needs a striker to help him build with, because Fulkirk isn't doing anything. Our younger players are better than our older players. Our younger players are genuinely better than the experienced guys out there. I'm not even the guy who's like, oh, play the youth team or whatever. I don't care. Just play whoever's good enough. But guess what? Our youth players are actually good enough because our older players are shit. Especially people like Fulkirk. Ward-Prowse was left out today, but there's been a whole problem about our younger players in midfield not playing over our older players in midfield because they're immobile. So this was Souček's last game from a ban today. If he starts against Brentford or even fucking gets a cameo, this manager needs to fuck off. This manager needs to fuck off. But even if this manager goes, like I said for Potter, it won't get better with these owners. It won't get better. We protested against Palace. Keep this up. You have to keep the pressure on them. Because some of these fan base do, especially online, is they're easily impressed over whoever the new guy is, because they did the same prop they're doing for Nuno, they did for Potter. But they were the same guys that turned on Potter. But what were you guys seeing beforehand? You got to see this with Nuno now. You're not seeing the cycle. It's all owner this, until a new manager comes in. Until a new manager comes in, then we're not talking about the owner anymore. No, you have to. You have to. They've been in 15 years. 15 years. And we're only declining. Only declining. Like, you can't decline like this. This squad is more than good enough to be higher up in the table, because I've seen worse teams than this get Europe. I've seen worse teams than this get Europe alone, let alone relegation battle. This team shouldn't even be discussed getting a relegation battle. I've seen the quality of the league this season. I saw Brentford get battered by Fulham. We've got Brentford next. I don't care if whoever's boycotting. That's meant to be the boycott game. I don't care if there's 0 fans in there. There's no atmosphere in there anyway. Go out and win that. If you're not winning that by more than 2 goals, it's a disgrace. We need to be scoring multiple goals in every single game. I don't care what players you have, because the coach brings out more of the players. 90% of what you see on the pitch is via the coach. It is. And we've discovered over the past couple of years that managers don't really need pre-seasons like that to get their style in. Potter had 1 training session. I knew what he was trying to do. Nuno had 2 training sessions. I know what he's trying to do against Emerson. Doesn't mean it's good enough. That doesn't mean it's good enough, because what I've seen over the past 2 weeks, I'm worried. If you're going to sit back against every single team like that with Kilman and Mavropanos, who are not intelligent defensively, we're in trouble. We're gone. We're gone. And you can't be gone in that stadium because nobody will go anymore. And nobody will go anymore. It would be some random French guys vaping in the background in fucking London Stadium, yeah? Just watching us in Stratford. There's going to be not one guy that supported West Ham from when they were a kid in that stadium. Not even the foreign fans that travel from Ghana, travel from China, travel from Ireland aren't going to come anymore. They're not going to come anymore. The dedicated foreign fans that come, the match-going fans that come every single year, they're not going to go anymore because they'll be like, why am I traveling for this? I'm paying all this money to come here. I've met people from America at the stadium, and they come for one game. They're like, I can't wait to watch West Ham Leicester. I can't wait to watch West Ham Chelsea. They just come for one game because convenient on their timeline. They're not going to want to go anymore. And rightly so. Why should you pay money to come here? You shouldn't pay money to come here. Save your money. Do not buy anything from the club anymore. I stopped buying shit from the club. This will be my last season as the season ticket holder. I'm done with this club. I'm done with this club. Like, just stop going. Don't pay anything. Boycott this club. It has to be until they're gone. It has to. And I get it. If you give up your ticket, someone else is going to get it as well. I fully get that. But if they want just tourists in there, let them have just tourists in there. And let's see what happens to the club. End up like Sunderland in League One. You won't come back. If we get relegated, we're not coming back. We're not coming back. Because you know how hard the Championship is. It's tough. It's tough. All these players are on high wages. You're not going to be able to flip them. Wan-Bissaka, Bowen, they're not going to want to play the Championship. It's a disgrace.
No, I hear it, man. I'm mad passionate rant as well. Shout your channel out, bro. What you got coming up?
At GVR Max on all platforms. I'm going to have a stream tomorrow, probably talking about the game as well. I've already got a fan cam out as well, so go and check that out as well. We're going to have the GVR show on Monday with Alfie talking about this game as well, West Ham Arsenal, as always. So thank you for having me on.
No, thanks for jumping on, man. My fan cam's next, guys. Then Kenny outside the ground, then Jezza, then emergency meeting. It's currently Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0. Caicedo with an absolute screamer, top bins it. And then after that, I'm live on React's channel for Villarreal against Real Madrid. So we will be there, but we're out. Laters.